So, Marc Kaufman, we've been up on Mars now with Curiosity for 2 years. What have we found?
What we have found is what scientists believe are the most important planetary discoveries ever made, and in fact even more important than when astronauts went to the moon. What they have found is that there was a time, way back, when Mars had a lot of running water on it, which they had suspected before, but never really ground-tested, ground-proven. And similarly, they have found that there are parts of Mars, and this is remarkable, that they believe are eminently habitable. In other words, life could have lived there. Doesn't mean that it did, but that the conditions were such that life, if it had started, could survive there. And we've never known that before.
Amazing discoveries. Of course, everybody wants to know, is there, has there ever been, will there ever be life on Mars? Another thing that rovers found, seasons on Mars.
Yes, definitely. There are. I mean, the Martian year is very long. There are seasons that are defined by both heat and cold, as in very cold, minus 100 degrees centigrade, but also in terms of the dust storms. There are different times of the year when there would be more or fewer dust storms, and that's partially a result of the air pressure and so on. But yes, there are. There's no balmy spring there, but there are seasons.
No beaches quite. But how much longer do we think rover's going to be roving round Mars?
Just as a little bit of background, the earlier rover, Opportunity, was expected to last there for, I think it was 18 months, and it's been up there now for 10 years. This was supposed to last for 2 years. It's already done 2 years, and there's every reason to think that it can go as long as the power source will allow, and that's about 10 years.
But there are some problems, I understand, with some of the equipment on Curiosity. The wheels are not quite what we'd expected.
Yes, I mean, all of the really complicated stuff is working great, but the wheels, which were part of the landing gear because of the way that they had to land, were made to be kind of light. They have deep struts, but they also have very thin parts. And the Martian surface has some really pointy rocks stuck into really deep or strong sandstone, and they're making punctures. And so.
Could that curtail the lifespan, do you think, of Curiosity's operations?
The scientists and engineers say no. And one of the main reasons why is because they are now driving backwards, which puts less pressure on the front and middle wheels. So they do believe that this is not a deal breaker.
Marc Kaufman, the book is Mars Up Close, Driving Backwards Around Mars. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.